PRC, quality service since 1972. Repairing TVs, console stereos, electronic musical instruments, pinball machines, arcade games, and more. Call 836-0454.
Hello, this is James Spann, the chief meteorologist for ABC 3340 Television in Birmingham with our Weather Xtreme video for Friday, the 13th of July. Moist air has come back to Alabama after a one-day break from the rain yesterday, and yep, we still need the rain. Here's the latest drought monitor from the USDA, and you can clearly see that we've still got the exceptional drought for a pretty good chunk of north, central, and northeast Alabama. True is beginning to shrink up a little bit, a little improvement since last week. The extreme drought goes down to about Clanton, and you can see the southern part of the state is dry, but they are not in the kind of drought that we are in up here. So once again, any and all rain will be welcome. Let's look at our water vapor satellite imagery this morning, and you can see kind of a wavy situation across the southern states. We've got the long wave trough from Hudson Bay on south, and on the bottom periphery of the trough, some shortwave energy, and you can see a big blow-up of storms off to the west. And we'll kind of keep an eye on that. Here's a look at the radar locally this morning. And we got a few showers over the Tennessee Valley, mostly light rain showers, and mostly north of U.S. Highway 278. But, boy, you want some rain. How about that? That's the radar coming from Tulsa. And there is just a large, massive rain covering a large chunk of Oklahoma. Many counties out there, once again, under flash flood warnings. And that big MCS will be sliding east-southeast today. The general trend would put that into parts of central or south Alabama later if it holds together. And what's probably going to happen, that some of that will dissipate. More storms will refire on the outflow boundary later today. This is the QPF graphic. This is valid through Tuesday evening. And again, this is suggesting some pretty decent rain for the state during that 5-day period with rainfall amounts of 1 to 2.5 inches. And, of course, heaviest rain still off to the west. Dallas-Fort Worth, what a wet year they've had. Wow. The bullseye just north of Dallas up toward McKinney, that shows 4.2 inches out there. And really globally, this is the big story. This thing here, Typhoon Man-Yi, went right over the Okinawa Islands last night, and now it's beginning to move away, moving up in the general direction of the main Japan Islands. And that booger out there is packing winds about 140 miles an hour. That's a big one. And certainly that could be a major news story in days to come. And I'm sure Okinawa was really plowed by this thing. We'll put some stories up on weatherparty.com, our site that gathers news stories on weather. Here's a look at the model output for today. This is the GFS, valid at 1 o'clock at 500 millibars. Pretty good looking amplitude, huh? Big ridge out west, trough over the east. Underneath that, pretty moist air in place, and you can kind of see that the train of waves coming at us from the west. Rain and storms all the way from Oklahoma into Alabama, and we do expect the convection to be pretty active this afternoon with some boundaries from the action last night to the west of here, and, of course, the daytime heating process. Let's look at Saturday now. The GFS is trying to bring in some drier air from the northeast tomorrow into the northeastern part of Alabama. Places like Fort Payne and Gadsden, if this is correct, would not have rain. But we've seen the GFS make this mistake before. There could be some truth to that, but I really think for many people in north-central Alabama, the air will stay very moist, and there will be scattered to numerous showers and storms tomorrow with some wave energy off to the west. Same deal on Sunday. So for tomorrow and Sunday, cloudy at times, scattered showers and storms, maybe numerous storms during the afternoon hours. Monday of next week, moist air and really not going anywhere. Looks pretty typical for summer. Tuesday of next week, again, I'm not so sure the weather will be a lot different from Monday. And let's look at the conditions up top on Wednesday. We'll go back to the chart at 500 millibars Wednesday, and the heights are going up. And we note the 594 ring showing up there around Jacksonville and Savannah, beginning to move in here, and that would suggest maybe toward the latter part of next week, the weather a little hotter. And the little hotter, the number of afternoon storms will decrease a little bit, if that's correct. But remember, that's the GFS has really struggled with this summer pattern, and the differences in day-to-day weather are very subtle, and often they don't show up nicely on these synoptic scale maps. And at the surface, maybe a tad drier, but again, I think for much of next week, for now, we'll broad brush it with a typical July pattern. We'll go out there another week beyond that. This is valid the 25th of July. Kind of an interesting look. The GFS brings a trough down the Atlantic coast and some type of maybe backdoor front coming in there. And 3 days later, this is the end of the forecast period, the 28th. That eastern trough is replaced by a hot ridge, and that shows pretty good plume of moisture in here. But again, the consistency is just awful, and really, I'm not so sure we can do a whole lot at this point, but just go with a standard summer forecast from next week on through the rest of this month. That's it for the Morning Weather Extreme video today. We'll have notes on the blog. The next video posted here by 3:30 today. And, of course, we invite you to watch us on television this evening, ABC 3340 News at 5, 6, and 10. Again, thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, and God bless.